There was a moment in this movie where I was close to walking out of the cinema in disgust. It was the moment where Nick finds out who Jay Gatsby is. Now, as someone who's read and greatly appreciated the novel, I'm aware that Gatsby's reveal is a big surprise. But it's because of how low-key it is, and how Nick had been calmly chatting with Jay Gatsby without realizing who the man was. In true Baz Luhrmann style, of course, the reveal is given multiple cinematic zooms, explosions of fireworks, and a loud backing of da-da-da-da by the orchestra as Gatsby smiles for his big close-up. This scene perfectly demonstrated everything that I hated about this movie. And this was pretty much the whole first half, too. For all of Luhrmann's efforts to stay faithful to the book's story, it's undermined by the fact that the setting feels so unbelievably staged. It doesn't feel like the 1920s New York, it feels like Luhrmann's reimagining of the time period. To further contribute the undermining of a period piece, he throws in a stupid hip-hop soundtrack by Jay-Z, as well as a cinematography that seems intent on making my head spin. To cap it all off, Luhrmann adds his trademark melodrama to a story that doesn't need any kind of melodrama to make it great. But for all that Luhrmann's film did wrong, it still manages to be good. Of course, I think I hold F. Scott Fitzgerald a little more responsible for this rather than Baz Luhrmann. I mean, as I said before, the smartest thing Luhrmann did was stay faithful to the story. And so we get a story of ambition, lost love, and a desperate attempt to bring back the past. Tobey Maguire, as the protagonist of the story, reflects on that summer where he got to know Jay Gatsby and uncover his biggest secrets and desires. Leonardo DiCaprio, for the most part, is reasonably suited to play the role of Jay Gatsby, and the snobbish Buchanans are portrayed by Joel Edgerton and Carey Mulligan. Rounding out the cast are Isla Fisher, Elizabeth Debicki, and Jason Clarke. Aside from the moments of forced comedy or unnecessary melodrama, the performances are overall good. The script often quotes the book word for word, rightly so, since F. Scott is a much better storyteller than Luhrmann as far as I'm concerned. If it sounds like I dislike Baz Luhrmann unfairly, then you're welcome to that opinion. But from the moment I heard about this production, I was pretty much adamant that the director of Australia had no business adapting The Great Gatsby into a movie. And in my opinion, the only thing that kept this movie from being a failure is because he stuck so closely to the original classic novel. As it is, the performances by the actors and the faithfulness of the story make up for all the substanceless style which Luhrmann is so often characterized by in his films. As much as I don't like him as a filmmaker, though, I do give Baz Luhrmann credit for recognizing the brilliance of The Great Gatsby and the power of its dialogue. Despite the sugar rush that could characterize the first half of the movie, the second half does calm down with a more relaxed and focused portrayal of the story, replacing the pop music with more orchestral soundtrack, which at least feels less anachronistic than what we initially got. The performances are also able to emerge onto the screen, and the closeness to F. Scott's writing is only a good thing. I'm especially grateful to Baz Luhrmann for leaving in the last lines of the book, which, coupled with some genuinely beautiful cinematography, make for an ending which almost made me forget the atrocious first half of the film. Almost.
Love is